You're listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.
Is Korea's preemptive preparation for a semiconductor winter, emergency currency defense, and massive biotech push a structural shift in economic policy? I mean, this risk mitigation matters far beyond Korea's borders today because you are watching the ultimate canary in the global export coal mine actively rewire its entire survival strategy. It's Thursday, June 11. Let's get into one of Korea's top economic stories today.
Right. So we're pulling from today's Seoul Economic Daily reporting, and our mission for this deep dive is to map out a really fascinating chain reaction.
Yeah.
We're going to look at how a vulnerability in computer chips is actively tanking a national currency.
Wow.
And why that exact squeeze is pushing an entire country into, high-stakes medical trials.
Let's start with the trigger, right? Semiconductors. Last year, we saw a massive drop in revenue.
We did. 62.5 trillion won, or 45 billion USD, was the contracted corporate tax revenue in 2024, representing a 40% drop from 103.6 trillion won, or 74 billion USD, in 2022 during the last memory down cycle.
Yeah, and when you lose 40% of your corporate tax base almost overnight, just because of a single industry's downturn, you can't just sit there and hope it gets better.
No, you really can't. That extreme volatility is terrifying for Seoul.
Right.
And it's why the Ministry of Trade commissioning the Kiayat Competitiveness Study will update Korea's 2025 semiconductor strategy to address fabulous gaps imminently.
So just for you listening, a fabulous gap simply means Korea designs the chips but lacks the domestic manufacturing capacity to actually build certain key types, right?
Exactly. They're trying to fix that missing link right now so they aren't, completely at the mercy of memory chip price cycles.
Okay, so the primary engine is sputtering, and that bleeds directly into the currency. Like the won closed at 1,524.0 euro per dollar, marking its 17th consecutive session above 1,500.
Yeah, the currency is just historically weak right now.
It's a direct cause and effect.
It really is. Because the won is dropping so fast, Korea's foreign commitments are getting painfully expensive.
Oh.
And that's why Deputy Minister Moon Ji-sung's unscheduled Washington trip this Friday utilizes a contractual lever to potentially adjust a $200 billion U.S. asset commitment amid exchange instability.
Wait, what is he actually doing in Washington, though?
Well, in simple terms, Korea previously agreed to invest heavily in U.S. assets. But with the exchange rate tanking, honoring those massive dollar commitments right now would just drain their reserves.
Right.
So they need to renegotiate how and when that money flows.
It feels to me like they are trying to build a second airplane engine mid-flight. I mean, is betting on an unproven 14 trillion won or a 10 billion USD biotech market essentially like trying to build that second engine while the primary engine faces turbulence and the fuel tank is actively leaking?
That is the perfect way to look at it.
Yeah.
Because of that fiscal squeeze, they desperately need a new, stable cash cow.
Okay.
And they're placing a massive bet on biotech. Specifically, 4 Korean biotech companies converge on U.S. Phase 3 osteoarthritis trials in July.
That is a highly specific pivot. Why osteoarthritis?
Because 14 trillion won, or 10 billion USD, is the projected global market size for these completely unaddressed disease-modifying osteoarthritis drugs.
Wait, really? Just for that one condition?
Yes. And we aren't talking about painkillers here. These are drugs that actually slow down or reverse the disease itself.
Oh, wow.
Which, no medication currently on the market does. Yeah. If Korea captures even a fraction of that 10 billion USD market, it provides a massive non-cyclical revenue stream.
Okay, let's bring this all together. What is the ultimate takeaway for our listeners trying to read the global markets? Like, is this a structural shift in Korean economic and industrial policy? And what is the global read-through?
The 40% collapse in corporate tax revenue during the last downturn fundamentally explains why Seoul treats current peak semiconductor conditions as a structural vulnerability. This fiscal reality forces an active industrial shift, evidenced by the emergency US Treasury bilateral to protect currency reserves and the aggressive push to capture a 14 trillion won, or 10 billion USD, osteoarthritis market. For global #KOSPI investors, this confirms Korea is architecting a post-memory growth model, making upcoming biotech trial results and semiconductor strategy updates critical global read-throughs.
It's an incredible survival strategy, honestly, but it leaves you with a critical question to chew on. If the world's most memory-dependent economy is already building its mid-flight lifeboats, what hidden vulnerabilities are other export-heavy nations ignoring right now while their own primary engines are still running smoothly? That's today's AI PRISM, Front Page Daily. This episode was produced with AI assistance based on Seoul Economic Daily reporting and reviewed by a human editor. AI PRISM is a One Eye for award-winning series. We'll be back tomorrow.
You've been listening to AI PRISM from Seoul Economic Daily.